From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, local councils now have just over a year to make their voices heard about Māori ward referendums. The vast majority of councils, 43 out of 45, have voted to keep the wards and will hold polls in the 2025 local elections. Central Hawke's Bay Mayor Alex Walker says there'll be a lot of conversations on this, both locally and nationally.
It's a shame that we have got to this point, particularly on this kind of representation, when other kinds of representation don't go to a referendum decision. I think that's unfair just in itself.
Labour Party leader Chris Hipkins says it's time for a mature, reasoned conversation about tax. The opposition leader says his party thinks we need to broaden our tax base beyond GST and PAYE. Mr Hipkins says we're not going to be able to afford all the things people want the government to deliver if we don't have this discussion.
If you look at the situation around the health system, for example, it's clear that the health system is going to require more funding. That funding ultimately has to come from somewhere.
The top UK and US spy chiefs have made their first public appearance together. MI6's Sir Richard Moore and the CIA's William Burns say they stand together resisting an assertive Russia and Putin's war of aggression in Ukraine. Mr Burns says the end of the war will ultimately come down to political will. He says it'll take leaders on both sides to recognise enough's enough and make some difficult compromises. A 15-year-old Foxton boy who lost his leg at a boy racer meet gone wrong says he's getting used to his new reality. CJ Holmes was struck when filming his sister's partner doing burnouts when a car lost control and landed the teenager in a ditch. His leg was amputated below the knee and he's been using a wheelchair and crutches since June. But Holmes says he's just excited to get on with life and it hasn't shaken his love of cars.
I drove Mum's Corolla the other day with the crutch on the gas pedal. Just went up and down the driveway. Got me pretty excited.
That's news. In sport, the All Whites have been beaten 3-0 by Mexico in their international friendly in Pasadena. New Zealand struggled to make a dent in the Mexican defence all game, with only 2 shots at goal and none on target. The All Blacks are lamenting a lack of killer instinct out wide following their 18-12 loss to South Africa in Cape Town. New Zealand was held tryless for the first time since 2018, struggling to create try-scoring opportunities. Will Jordan made a rare start at fullback and admits after a strong start, the backline lost some shape in the second half.
I thought we could have been a little bit better in the kind of knockout or that 22-metre zone we got in there. So, yeah, nice to see some pictures there, but, yeah, we'll be good to get a bit more involved as the game wore on.
The All Blacks next play Australia in a fortnight. That's sport. I'm Joe Gilfillan.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.